Welcome back. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Battlesector. I'm playing the Fortress of Redemption, and we are playing Strategic Command. I am playing as the Adepta Sororitas. We're playing against the Necrons, 2,000 army point size, 100 point full point value here, unlimited turns, I should say. Now, with this loadout, I ended up going with the Arco-Flagellants. It's been a long time since I've used them. I feel they got a lot of movement, and hopefully with all their evasion that they'll get with the additional damage might make him viable. However, if he goes heavy living lightning, he's going to completely obliterate me. So I'm just kind of moving our guys around here, putting them into different forces. So we have two hospitalers. The one is going to be our HQ unit. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Celestians. I have got 2 Repentia, and I think I've got 5 or 6 Arco-Flagellants, 2 of the Pennant Engines, 1 Rhino, and 2 Exorcists, hopefully to be able to shoot from range. And then use the heavy bolters to take out any resurrections. Loading up the sisters into the Rhino. I'm going to have to be very careful that I don't end up overextending that and it gets blown up and takes all those sisters with them, because that would be a bad day for sure. And given that he is the Necrons, he's going to have a lot of ranged units here, so I think I'm going to try to use the right to kind of push here a little bit more. And then hopefully that elevated position will block his line of sight. And we'll bring the hospitaler over here to do some healing and then also possible additional attacks. And we'll set up some shots here. See if we can get anything if he pulls into our range. And move him up to try to get a little more line of sight.
As you command.
And 5-0 in our favor. Now, typically, players will do 80 points, and I think this is going to be a more viable build for the 80 points than the 100, because by using your Arco-Flagellants to run around and capture points, it definitely works out, but then you're effectively sacrificing a unit every turn. And those dang Locust Heavy Destroyers are landing attack after attack on me here. He's got a pretty decent force here. Looks like his Overlord's the HQ commander. He's got a couple of Plasmamancers there. That's surprisingly no living lightning so far. It's like, well, let's run you guys over here. Run you over here. Bring him up 1. Hopefully that'll act as some cover for you. And then these guys are just going to stay there, I guess, and get sacrificed. It's like, do I spend some turns attacking, or do I wait for him to come closer? I don't have great accuracy right now. I'm going to have to be careful with those Plasmamancers, and I'm not so close together that I set up for an easy nuke. Because with these, without any armor, these guys could easily be killed. I'll try to keep them at an angle here, so hopefully they won't be able to get too many shots onto me. I'm just trying to figure out where do I want to move these guys. Because it's like I'm not sure that's full cover. I'd like to have these guys over here to lock this up, because I don't want him to be dropping Scarab Swarms on top of me. And it's like originally I was going to have the hospitaler come over on the left side, but I don't know if there's really enough forces over there to justify that. So I'm just debating, do I just have everybody come over to the right side here, given that he's got so many forces and he looks like he's kind of posturing to go over here with major forces. And I'm just kind of checking out everything he's got equipped, and I'm very surprised he doesn't have Living Lightning, because that's a great way to counter the sisters here. Now, I suppose he thought maybe I'd go heavy vehicle, Because if he's been watching this as a subscriber, and he says he does watch my videos, so I don't think it's any secret that I really do like using a lot of the vehicles and then setting up the double flamers and everything. But against the Necrons, I just find so many of their either standard unaltered kit or their upgraded versions are so good against taking out armor that I instead just went for the infantry here. And decided I'm going to just move the Arcoflagellants over here because my hope is that maybe I can shoot up some forces and then capture that point back. Since the points are being distributed on my turn, it's more important that I end up getting the points on my turn than it is for him. Gonna end up putting these guys in that corner there. I was just so worried that they were gonna accidentally get flamed by my own unit if I got too crazy with the positioning.
Who needs my aid?
It's like, we'll bring you over here. I gotta keep you a little bit far back because I don't want them to snipe you.
So
One thing I was a little surprised is this map is so big I didn't see any death marks on here, but maybe his thought was with the Locust Heavy Destroyer he's going to have enough long range to snipe me down. And it's like the other thing I can do is if I'm going to be having so many forces over here is I can pop some smoke, get some evasion for everybody.
confound his enemies.
It's going to lower my overwatch accuracy, but as they mostly have pistols and everything, it doesn't make a big difference. Yeah, I was just counting out spots here, trying to figure out where I want to be. Put him over to the left a little bit to try to get him in cover. And it's like, if I'm going to bring everybody else over there, I'm going to bring her here too. If nothing else, maybe she'll even be able to heal if those guys take fire. And then since I'm going to get the points, I figured there's no reason to have the Arcoflagellants just stay there to get killed, so we'll pull them back a little bit. And if he wants to jump in there with his jump infantry to take that back, then he can get flamed all day long. So 25 to 5. Now I was a little confused on what he was doing here. He did say he's a newer player, so I'm not sure if he thought, oh, I'm just going to do the ranged attacks, or if he was worried about the artillery striking him like it's doing now, if that's why he was trying to kill him from range. But one thing I'll note on a lot of his use of the jump infantry throughout this match is he doesn't use the charge attack, so I'm not sure if he's not sure how to do it, or if he's like me and he's always worried it's going to get suppressed. But if he activates his jump pack, or whatever the Necron equivalent is, and then if you click on the attack range, you can then click on the unit, because you'll have two squares highlighted, and then that'll count as a charge attack, and that gives you the opportunity to do more damage, and it can actually knock my unit off back a square, and then you can then capture the point even if you don't kill the infantry. So I just want to make sure you are aware of that, because I do see you do that a lot on this match.
Yes.
Alright, so now I'm just trying to debate how I want to go here. I've got so much room here that it's like I think I'm going to be able to flame these guys.
What is your will?
So I end up moving this guy here. Now I thought he was going to be able to kill immortals with one shot, but he can't actually one-shot them. So I should have used that bonus damage, and then I would have been able to do it potentially if you land all your attacks. So it's like, alright, if he jumps you with those jump infantry, he's gonna kill my Arcoflagellants for sure. So now I'm just trying to weaken these guys down a little bit. and 2 resurrected. So I kind of remembered these Arcoflagellants to do more damage. I'm not sure if they got nerfed, because I haven't used them in so long, but it's like even with a rear attack, it's like 13 damage. I'm like, man, that's not very good. Because I seem to remember them hitting way above their weight class for a long period of time. And I just turned them here, so that way I couldn't get rear attacks against the jump infantry if he attacked me, the Praetorians there. Now I just need to clear them off of the spot here. And it's like, I should be able to just move you up here and kill that one unit. And if they resurrect, then I should be able to kill them with the heavy bolters. Attack here. And thankfully he doesn't resurrect, so we just come up here, take that point back. So that was pretty nice. Now it's like, well, I guess we'll attack these guys with the heavy bolter. But I wasn't really thinking, because I was looking at the range for the artillery piece, not the heavy bolter. So I'm like, wow, the heavy bolter has a lot more range than I was remembering. I'm like, oh wait, that's 4, not what I was actually doing there. So that was kind of a stupid mistake. And now I see that I can get all the way over here, so it's like, boy, if I can take out 2 immortals for 1 penitent engine, I'd be pretty happy with that trade. So now, learning my lesson, I end up going with the 15% damage. And shoot into here. But he's still not able to do it, so I'm not sure that even increases their flame damage. I'm a little confused at what happened there. Now the one downside by doing that first is I couldn't get my charge attack in here. But I wanted the penitent engine to be able to attack 2 anyways, so... So I end up bringing these guys down here to whip these guys down. And 2 got up, so now they're like stronger than they were before. I need to be careful I don't have guys grouped up too much where they're able to get nuked so easily. So it's like, well, I don't think I want to bring these guys down any farther, so let's just bring you here. And it's like, what am I going to put to block that point? I'm like, well, if 2 already resurrected, maybe I can kill a couple models, so I drop that down. And now 2 are down, so it's like, alright, that's not terrible. It's like I can hide in the corner, or I can just stay here. And I bring him here just to body block that point, because hopefully the smoke will stay for another turn, and that should really help his evasion. Now I've got these Celestians here that I'm trying to figure out what to do with. It's like, well, let's just heal.
With haste.
I'll hide you in the corner, so hopefully you'll still be safe. And then with the other one, it's like, do I pull him back? Do I move him up front? What do I want to do here? It's like I really don't want them to get nuked, so I end up putting them up here, just try to hide, and then I put the armor on in case he's gonna nuke them with the Plasmamancer. And I bring these ones over here so they stay in the smoke, but I also want to get them close enough where I can then buff them if all their units charge in here. So hopefully I can charge them off.
What is your will? As you command.
And we're just going to keep those ones here, because I don't know when he's going to start summoning scarabs. And it's like, well, maybe I can kill a model from here, which I do. So I was like, that wasn't terrible. And I pull him back, because I can't have those locusts attack that. And then I'm going to swing over with the hospitaller here. It's like, well, maybe I can just heal him all the way up to full health if I do this.
We serve.
It's like I should be far enough away that I shouldn't
With
get
haste.
nuked, so it's like we'll move you over one.
So it will be.
And we'll put you on Overwatch because I'm not sure if those jump infantry are going to come after these ones or not. And ultimately I do decide to turn them over here so if that way if he drops the nuke on the pennant engine it doesn't kill the Arcoflagellants too because they have no armor. So they take full damage from that splash. And it's like, well, if he doesn't kill this Arcoflagellant, maybe I'll run him around the map to try to get to that rear point.
Watch me.
But I don't think he's going to make it, so we'll just keep body blocking points here. And now it's 45 to 10. Now, the Plasmamancer there, I think you're trying to keep him alive, but you could have just done a single attack and killed both of those guys because he has crazy splash damage, and you could have dropped a nuke and attacked my other guys. And so you could have killed both of these Arcoflagellants if you really wanted to, so. Alright, I killed him. And now, this is where things really start to take a bad turn for my opponent. Is he's going to overextend this Overlord to try to get these kills. And this is again, and then he moves the Plasmamancer up too. And he totally, so you keep using them as range like this. It's like, that's fine if you can't get to reach him, but the Plasmamancer is an amazing melee combatant. So if you can get into melee without, you know, totally sacrificing him, it probably makes more sense to do that. And now you're running away with your Immortals here. And you're leaving them in line, so now I can flame them as well. So you're kind of setting yourself up for a bad time here. So I think there's a really high chance of you slaughtering me, but it all kind of fell apart here after that one turn. So that's where things really started to go wrong for you. So it's like I need to take these Praetorians down because you have a really slow moving force. So if I can just drop all these other guys,
With haste.
then it's going to be really hard for you to come and kill me, and hopefully I can outmaneuver you. So it's like, well, let's try to smack these ones down. And you got another attack. So we smack here. And it's like, well, let's pull you back here. And I'm like, shit, I forgot to attack with you. I gave you that bonus attack and then I just wasted it. So I was a little disappointed in my thought process there. But now that you've overextended with that Overlord, it's like, shit, I can totally kill this with my Rhino here. Because here I'm spending all these points trying to protect my different locations from you summoning Scarab Swarms eventually on me. And now I can kill any points that you've collected this turn, and you left them for a rear charge, so it's like, that's a one-shot kill. So he's down now. And it's like, well, I might as well send the other one right now, and then maybe we can kill this Plasmamancer too. Now, it only has a 65% chance to hit, which surprised me. So unfortunately it was not a one-shot kill. And I'm like, well, maybe if I shoot, but it's like, yeah, that's right, the Rhino has just an abysmal shot here. And it's like, if I try to move the Sisters Repentia, then they're going to suffer an attack from your Plasmamancer. So now I'm in kind of a bad way, where it's like, alright, I've committed you, and now you could totally nuke everybody. But I'm looking at my points, it's like, well, now I have enough for 3 for all that extra damage, but I don't think I had that prior to now. So I'm just trying to figure out what can I do, and it's like, well, maybe if I increase everybody's movement, that might work. Your bolter's on cooldown, you've attacked. I can bring you over this way because you've left me with these guys in a line. So it's like, well, I'm going to learn my lesson and use the flame, and now I should be able to flame through here. And I killed both the units, and you unfortunately had an incredibly bad roll where neither of your units resurrected any unit. So it's like, holy shit, that was highly effective. So now I've cleared out this left side here. So it's like, I guess we'll just leave this Sacred Saints there to bloody block, and everybody else is over here. So it's like, well, if I can just hold this line, especially if I can kill this Plasmamancer, then this should really lock down most of this area here. And it's like, I still have the extra attack, or the extra bonus here for the HP, so it's like, do I want to use it here? And it's like, no, let's use it up front here, because I can also increase the movement of those units in the front line if I can reach here, which I can. And now once I attack, I can then space these guys out a little bit more. So hopefully not everybody gets nuked by your other Plasmamancer, because I would like to keep these Sister Repentia alive if I can, because that's going to help me chew through those Locust Heavy Destroyers or your other Plasmamancer. Because I do need to kill those guys, so you don't start using all those command points on me. And I used it on the one to the left there because they had 5 models. So it's like, I'd really like to keep them alive. It's like, well, let's run them down to here. And that may aggro everybody else over towards them, but if not, then I should be able to run them down to capture that last points, and plus it'll lock these other 2 units down into melee range. I still have you, but you're just abysmal damage. It's like, I could move them down, but I don't know if I really need to at this point in time. And it's like, these ones also have 2 points. And the big thing is I don't want him to snipe my Hospitaller, because I'd like to keep healing my units here, giving them extra AP, and using my command points. So it's like, where can I position you where that dang Locust Destroyer isn't going to be able to shoot you, because you have 3 movement. And it's like, I don't know if you're going to try to break them off to the right side to help slaughter my HQ units, or if you're going to use them to push forward to take out my Exorcists here. So it's like, let's just pull them back here, try to do as much as we can to make it hard for you to kill them.
What is your will?
And it's like, well, you still have those other jump infantry, so I feel like I gotta keep guys there just in case, or if you end up summoning scarabs, but hopefully you shouldn't be able to since I killed your HQ unit. So it's like, well, I think I can just move you down here. We'll smack here, probably not do much damage, which I don't. It's like 10 and 12, so that's abysmal.
In penance, we seek redemption.
It's like, we'll move you down 1 to see if that'll help keep you safe. But I still don't think that's heavy cover, so I end up putting you there. Because my other thought is maybe if I keep them out in the middle, it'll aggro shots, because now that you've already killed 2 of the models there, they're not going to do a ton of damage for me. So I end up moving the Sisters up 1 square here, because it's like I can space them out so to protect them from a nuke. So it's like I'm going to end up moving the Arcoflagellants back to where they were, and I'll move the Sisters up 1. I was a little hesitant to do that because I don't want them to get shot by all those other units, but it's like, well, hopefully the accuracy will work in our favor here.
What is your will?
Or not the accuracy, the evasion bonus from the momentum is what I meant to say. So now I'm just trying to debate, do I move forward and try to capture a point? Do I not? And ultimately I'm like, well, I'd rather keep these guys alive, and then maybe I can use the Hospitallers to keep healing them. So again, before I was real hesitant, it's like, well, I just gotta keep pushing, and if you get taken out, you get taken out. And now it's 60 to 20. And you got the battlefield promotion, so your other Plasmamancer is now your commander. But unfortunately, the evasion does not seem to be working well for me. So you are still getting the kills. You are pushing up with the Locust here. Shooting into them. Shooting into those ones. You jump here. Smack down those Arcoflagellants, which surprised me a little bit. Thought you would have focused on killing the Hospitaller to stop me from healing units. Plasma Mancers over here. And again, goes with the range. So now the momentum is starting to stack up in our favor, thankfully. So now it's like, how do I want to kill these guys? It's like, well, I've got these guaranteed attacks with these 60 to 80 with an armor piercing of 6. Got the Pennant and Engine over here. Now it'll easily be killed by those locusts. So I'm just trying to figure out what do I want to do here. Now you have them facing the wrong direction, unfortunately. That's a very common mistake.
With haste.
So now you're leaving the rear open for me to get bonus melee attacks here. So I run these guys down. I'm going to give them the extra AP. And now it's like I should pretty easily be able to kill these Praetorians. And unfortunately you get good rolls on those ones, so you got both of them back. It's like, well, I need to drop them, so we'll move these ones up. We're going to use their Zealous Fury there to hopefully get some more attacks. And we dropped 3 of the models down, so it's like, alright, that wasn't terrible.
Yes.
And I'm debating, you know, can these guys actually kill somebody? It's like I can do the rear attack, and maybe he'll kill a model, but it's like, I think I'd rather just have her heal my Arcoflagellants, because I need them to stay alive to keep holding the spot. And it's like, well, if I move you up here, you'll get the kill for sure, because you'll get 2 attacks, but I'd rather take this point as we're trying to secure these points. And if I don't kill your units, I'm going to quickly run out of my own, and then it's going to just be an attrition battle. So it's like, just capture as many points as we can. And now I'm like, well, I could run and get the kill with the sister Repentia, but I'm not sure it's worth it. So it's like, well, let's just come down here, start killing some immortals. And unfortunately he resurrects, so I'm like, alright, well, attack again then. And he'll stay down, and we'll come over here, and now we take this last point. And in my mind I was thinking, oh, we're doing an 80-point target here, so I for sure have the win, but I forgot that it was 100 points. So now as the end, I'm like, oh good, well, this is his last end, I might as well just kill as many of these units as I can. So it's like, well, let's move you up. And that's working. It's like I can charge them in, but I'm worried they're going to resurrect. So it's like, why don't I bring these Exorcists forward? We can use the Heavy Bolter. And hopefully we can get some more kills and then maybe finish off one of these guys. With the Sacred Saints. And it's like, yep, one did resurrect, unfortunately. So now it's just one left, so it's like, well, I might be able to kill him, as long as he doesn't resurrect. So we hit there. And he doesn't, thankfully, so it's like, alright, I got that on lockdown now, so even if he has only one, he won't be able to take out my Exorcist in one round. So that'll work out. Whereas if he had 2, there's a very good chance he could have killed one of those. And it's like, well, who do I wish to sacrifice then? And it's like, let's just bring him up here, so if he gets killed, he protects the other units, but if not, then everybody else is safe. And here I'm like, well, let's roll the dice and see if you can drop this guy for 11 damage. And you couldn't. So it's like, alright, dang it. So I'm thinking the game's about to end, because it's 80 points, and then I realize, oh shit, that's right, it's 100. So it's like, okay, one more turn, 85 to 20. And then the other player ended up conceding, so good game overall. It was a fun match. Definitely shows that you can use the Arcoflagellants. Like I said, I think it's a more viable strategy if you're playing the 80-point target. When you're playing the 100-point target, it definitely gets to be a close match. For the feedback I'd have for my opponent here, like I said, he's a newer player. He said as much. So my feedback, kind of like I was saying, is just I wasn't sure if you understood how the charge attacks worked with your jump infantry, so I kind of described that earlier. And then I think you would have had a really good chance on winning this match had you not overextended with that Overlord and your Plasmamancers. You seem to focus a lot on the range attacks of the Plasmamancers, and they're definitely good at that, and they could definitely do a lot of heavy lifting for you on the other matches. However, against the Sisters of Battle, they can, or the Adepta Sororitas, I guess is what they're called this time, they have a lot of evasion once their momentum starts getting up, so then the chance of you hitting them in ranged attacks goes down, whereas with using their melee attack, you can do a ton of damage. And just remember to use your nukes with your Plasmamancers if you can. I know I'm really guilty of always trying to save them up to get the maximum amount of attacks as well, to take out lots of units, but sometimes you just got to use it, especially if they're in stuck in an area where they're going to end up getting taken out, because I think that would have just totally decimated my front line, and you would have totally collapsed that whole left side on me, and you would have been able to take the match, and then using your Scarab Swarms to be able to attack and take those points back. But by me being able to kill your HQ commander, I was able to nullify all those points, and I was able to really use the movement bonuses from the Adepta Sororitas to really outmaneuver you. On the right side there, you kind of started to run away from my Penitent Engine, which I can understand it does a lot of damage, but perhaps if you would have separated the guys, you could have actually shot them down, especially if you would have had the command points left to be able to drop Scarabs or something else on top of them, and then you would have been able to overwhelm me on the right side as well. But you got worried about that single unit, that Arcoflagellant, and you wasted a lot of attacks killing that one, so that was probably not the best idea to attack there. And then for me, you know, the Exorcists, I'm not sure they really pay off. They're quite expensive. You know, the Heavy Bolter definitely worked out well. But again, the Heavy Destroyers worked out well for you. Even with all those evasions and momentum, you're still able to do great things for it. So, and then, the other thing I'd mention is just remember to have your guys face the right way, because if you give me easy back charge attacks, not only do you not get counterattacks when I do that, but I get bonus melee damage. And then finally, and I've lost matches for this too, is on the Strategic Command maps and objectives. I know you want to use a lot of warriors and immortals, but if you have so much of your forces tied into that, they really only have 3 or 4 movement, and so you can't cover enough distance, and so you'll easily be outmaneuvered by faster factions, and I've had that happen to me many times. So that would kind of be my feedback for the Necrons. I mean, you got a pretty solid force here, but especially on this kind of map, you needed more mobility. Now, you were close to doing that with the jump infantry, but then you were kind of having a little trouble using those. So hopefully that gives you some feedback. If you want to play some more matches, let me know. Like I said, send me a message, or I'll see you on the game website if they set up any more games. So thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe to encourage me to post more content. And if you want to play a match against me, just send me a message on YouTube and let me know what your username is, set up a private match and what the password, and I'd be happy to play you and upload the match and give you some feedback. Or if you want to show me something cool, if you've got other thoughts on units and want to show me that I'm wrong, just let me know. Thanks. Have a great day.